What's up, guys? Chasing Lamely here with episode 157 of The Journey, and it is our pre-season transfer special, but today with added matches because I've not gone as crazy in a transfer market as I usually do. I'll explain in a second. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, all that good stuff, and I'll see you after the intro. So, for those of you who missed the last episode, we are now in charge of Liverpool, having taken over in the summer. A bit of a shock move for us because it's a massive, massive jump from Blackburn, where we were. But we've got this job, and we're going to make the best of it. You can see on the right-hand side here, we had an original transfer budget of 131 million. We've got 38 million left, but I have been spending, and let's talk through all of the spending that we have done, all the ins, all the outs. There's not many ins. I usually make dozens of transfers. Today, just 4. So the first man through the door, you saw this in the last episode because I made the bid whilst I was recording. Moises Caicedo joins us from Chelsea to play in the centre of our midfield. He was our record transfer, and I say was because I've surpassed this. I spent 89 million to bring him in age 30 from Chelsea. I had a look at the team. We were really struggling in defensive midfield positions in the last season. We were probably not scoring as many as we should and conceding more than we should, which is why we finished 7th. So I've looked to address that. Moises Caicedo still looks very good. He's not had any real drops in his attributes just yet, which is nice to see, probably because he's got 19 natural fitness. He'll probably play for another 8 years before he retires, but I think a very, very good first signing for the club. And leagues above what I was signing for Blackburn. And I've carried on my raid on Chelsea because I also brought in Romeo Lavia, who has joined us from them as well to partner again with Caicedo. Of course, they have been a partnership at Chelsea for quite some time at this stage in the save. Maybe not quite as good as Caicedo, but he's 28. He's probably got a little bit of development still left in him. Not much, but maybe a touch. But he's just a very good all-round player, good mentals, good physicals, good everything. And, 93 million. He is now our record signing for Liverpool. And we've weakened Chelsea, which is going to help us out in the league. They did sign a player from us. We'll talk about that in a second, but he's not as good as what I've taken from them. So we have come out the winners in terms of team strength, if not financially. But yeah, very happy to have him in. 81 caps and 7 goals for Belgium. Not bad for a holding midfielder. And I certainly think we can do something really special with this guy in the team. Now, I need a striker. I've signed 2 people to play up top, the first of which is Victor Osimhen. He was available on a free after Napoli released him at the end of his deal. It just seems stupid not to take him. I know he's dropping off. He's not as good as he was necessarily. Certainly a lot of the pace and acceleration that would have been in his game at the start of the save has gone. But as a guy to get us goals, I definitely have faith in him to be able to pull that off. And as I said, for the price of £0, a pretty good deal. He's also scored 119 goals in 109 games for Nigeria, which is just ridiculous. So we know we've got a real star on our hands. Everyone knows how good he is. It's actually, I think, the first time I've ever managed him at FM, which is odd. Certainly the first time I've done it in a long-term save, and happy to have him. He's going to be a really big player for us this season. But he'll be coming off the bench, and I'll explain why in just a second. Because for the absolute bargain price of £50 million, I've brought in Ansu Fati from Barcelona. And I'm going to play him as a striker. I know he's better as an inside forward. I'm going to play him as a striker because I feel like this team is lacking attacking players. I think he's got the tools to be a really, really good advanced forward for us, as we can see here. He should get goals. He's not had the best goal record in his career. He gets a goal every 3 or 4 games so far in his career. But I think we can turn that around. He's had quite an interesting time at Barca, where he's been sort of in and out of favour, on and off, throughout his career. It's really interesting because I would say he's one of the better players in the world at this stage. But he's not been getting game time at Barca, and I think I can give him some. He's 29 now, 88 caps, 28 goals for Spain. Really good signing for us, really strengthens us up top, which means I have spent so far £232 million on players. I will be spending more. I just need to find the right player. I'm only looking for one because my squad registration is full, so I'm looking for youngsters. In terms of outs, Mbombo, Van Persie and Mejia had all agreed to leave before I got here. Nothing I could do about them. Havel, Scott, I'd already agreed to sign for Blackburn before I left, and they would have gone anyway. A few other players leaving. Noel Turnquist goes for 18 million to Al Hazem. Again, that was organised before I got here. I sold Alexis McAllister to Al Ali for 27 million. I sold Darwin Nunez to Al Nazir for 43 million, which the team nearly mutinied on me for. I luckily had Osimhen lined up because that kind of placated them a little bit. James Westcott's a youngster who goes for cheap to Burton just to free up some space because he was already reaching a stage where there was not a lot of development left in him. Liam Arlen goes to Fulham, again, another player who didn't have a lot of development left in him, so £375 is a perfectly respectable deal for him. A few players on loan. Alex Mayman's gone out. He's a youngster who might develop. Tony Hataja has gone out on loan to Leicester. This kid could be a really big star for us in the future. His time isn't now. He's already championship level, though, and he will be playing for Leicester this season in the championship. But, you know, a season on loan, it's not going to hurt him. We've got so many attacking midfielders that we can afford to keep him out on loan. We sold Lorenzo Colombo to Barcelona for 30.5, rising to 41.5 million. Italian striker that I didn't feel like was going to get in our team. He's only had 6 goals in 22 appearances across 3 years previously here. Wasn't really up to Liverpool standards, so letting him go just made sense, especially because I've just taken Ansu Fati off and they needed a striker. I needed to get rid of a striker. It was a perfectly good deal. They've got the better of it financially, but we've got the better of it in terms of players. Lucas Ray and Leandro Ruiz have gone out on loan. Leandro Ruiz has gone out on loan to Chelsea, an Argentine central midfielder that I guess they're using to kind of plug the gap that we've given them in their midfield. But he wasn't going to play for me this year, so it just made sense to let him go. We also couldn't register him to even have him as a backup option. So it's just good business letting him go. If he plays for Chelsea, all the better for us. To be honest, he'll improve massively as a footballer while he's out. Carl Miller has gone to Southampton. Again, another player who was never going to make it. I'm surprised Southampton wanted him because he's not ever going to reach that Premier League standard of play. And they've paid us 1.8 million for him. Again, just seems silly not to let him go when there was money on the table for him. We've also let this guy go, Miszaj Basharnik. I've said his name wrong, but there we go. He is a Polish under-21 international. He's gone to join Swansea for 94k, and again, was never going to be more than a championship player. So it made sense to let him bounce. We've let Michael Bolton, not the singer, go on loan to Newcastle. Again, he's an England international, but this was registration, essentially. I just didn't have enough space in the registration for. I've got a few more players I need to move on because I haven't got room in the registration for them. Letting go to Newcastle to play in the Premier League at the top end of the Premier League as well, because they were in the running for the title last year. Just seems like good business. Either he'll improve and I'll get a really good player back, or I'll get really good money for him, depending how our midfield is looking. But I don't see him getting into that team with Caicedo and Lavia anyway. Likewise, Nicolo Fagioli has gone to Chelsea. They have paid us £38.5 million for him. He's 31. He was never, ever going to get into... I mean, if we compare him to Moises Caicedo, which we should be able to do fairly easily. There we go. Look at the polygon. Caicedo is in the blue. Fagioli is in the green. And even if we swap Caicedo out for Lavia, where's Fagioli getting in that team? He's not going to play. We may as well let him go to Chelsea. It's just made good business sense. And Chelsea have, again, plugged that gap that we've taken from them, but not with a better player. So we have definitely weakened Chelsea for the year. And the last guy to leave is Patrick Portal, or Portal. I love his name. He played against us for Liverpool last year, actually. He was one of his 3 appearances for Liverpool was against us last year. His 1 start in the league last year was against us, and he was very, very good. But he's not ready yet, and I've got a couple of left-backs already, so just letting him go on loan made a little bit of sense. So that's the rundown of what we are doing in terms of transfers so far. There is a bit more business to be done. I'm trying to bring in these 3 goalkeepers on loan. I don't have room in the squad to register another goalkeeper. You saw in the last episode, the 2 goalkeepers we had as backups are not very good, and they are both north of 25, so it just made no sense keeping them around. They've got no development potential. I can't scout these guys quick enough, but I don't need to register them because they're 20 years old. So if I bring them on loan and one of them looks good, I can afford to buy all of them if I want to. I just want to take a look at them, have them here for the season. They're all going to be on backup contracts. If one looks the business, we will either we'll use him where we can and we'll buy him. But it's just backups for us, really. I mean, like I said, I've not really scouted them. Marcus Duncan's a Canadian playing for RB Leipzig who looks like he might be decent. We've got a D rating for him, but let's not put too much faith in the scouts just yet. Hans-Jörg Wipperfurth joins us is going to be joining us from Hanover. Again, I just want to have a look at him, see what his potential looks like, because he looks like a decent enough goalkeeper already to be a backup. And Justin Steinberger is coming in from Bayern, who again looks like he could be a decent backup, but with some good potential. Does have the highest transfer value of all of them. But I'm willing to pay it if he looks like he could become good enough. So that's the team where it is as it stands. We are going to play some football today. I'll talk through as well the best 11. We're going to play Trent Alexander-Arnold's testimonial because he's somehow managed to stay here this entire time. So that's going to be against Nice, and we'll have a few guests in that one. And then we're going to play the MLS All-Star Game. I know what you're thinking, why are we playing pre-season friendlies? I'm a big MLS fan. I've been watching the MLS since it started. I actually consider the MLS All-Star Game to be a really big deal. So I'm counting this as our first potential trophy of the season. And we could do an octuple this year if we win everything we're in for. We've got the Premier League, the Champions League, the Super Cup, the FA Cup, the League Cup, the European South American Club Challenge, where we'll play Flamengo. That'll be probably next episode, I think, depending which of these games is coming first. And then the MLS All-Star Game. You're probably thinking, lamely, that's 7. That's not 8, but we're also in the Bristol Street Motors Trophy. We'll count it. Why not? If we can win that. We did win it last season, I checked. If we can win that as well, that'll be 8 trophies in a single season, and the only thing missing would be the Community Shield, which is pretty strong, I would say. So we'll see if we can knock off on octuple, pick up our first trophy today, hopefully against the MLS All-Stars. It's not necessarily guaranteed, because the MLS All-Stars, we don't know a lot about their team. I have been trying to scout them. This squad has got smaller since I last looked at it too, so hopefully they'll pick up some players. But there are a few good players in here. Julian Rykhoff is in there. He's a pretty decent player. So, there are some respectable quality players in this team. We'll see how this goes, because it could be a rude awakening. It could be something special. And looking at our lineup so far, I am currently playing with the Gegenpress we got promoted with for Blackburn. That's my current go-to. We can tweak it as we go in the early running, just because I don't want to drop too many games. The lineup we will have for today would be this one. So you'll see this one for the testimonial for Trent Alexander-Arnold. It's going to be Kelleher, Alexander-Arnold, Konate, Diamande, of course, our old friend from our World Cup winning team, and Dorgu, McAllister next to Elliott, Sora Takamoto, Doak, and Nunez with Marcelo, Enrique, Figueroa, Del Moro, Aidinger, Caicedo, Camino, Bargi, Szoboszlai, Rego, Osimhen, Fati, Alexandre, Gravenberch, and Guillaume on the bench. If you're wondering why isn't Romeo Lavia playing, he is unavailable today because he is going to be playing, ironically, for Chelsea in a testimonial for... My brain has failed on me now. Whose testimonial are they playing today? Ben Chilwell's testimonial. Ironically, we did have Ben Chilwell on trial, and I didn't sign him. So he's been with us this pre-season. He's been released by Chelsea. He's having a testimonial for Chelsea, and one of our players we've signed from Chelsea is going to play in it. It's very confusing. Let's go to the dynamic screen, to the squad planner screen. Let me make sure I've got this all lined up. We'll look at our best 11 as the assistant manager sees it. That'll be the best way to look at things. So it would be Marcelo in goal. Obviously, as I said, we've got to find some new backup goalkeepers. On the left, I'm actually quite happy with Dorgu, with Aidinger, who looks very, very good as a backup. He's a Belgian international. He's 23 years old. He's nearly there, and he's nearly as good as Dorgu, so I'm not against having him as a backup. I think he'll develop really nicely. So that'll be our plan there, with obviously Guillaume as our kind of all-purpose, can play anywhere backup. Diamande and Figueroa as the two main centre-halves, with Del Moro as a backup, and obviously Guillem is there as available as a backup as well. Trent on the right-hand side, Guillem as the backup there, but there is also this guy, Efran Vea, in the squad. I am going to look for one more right-back if I can find a young one that looks interesting, just to have that extra backup, but I think we're fairly secure. In the centre of midfield, I mean, it's a pile. We've got Caicedo, Lavia. I'm trying to sign Federico Valverde. I know he's 34, but he's still an absolutely banging player. Oh, I'm trying to sign him. He's gone to Al Ittihad without me noticing, so we're not trying to sign him. Let's get him off our list of players. I don't know why he's still there. We've still got Szoboszlai, we've still got Gravenberch, we've still got Harvey Elliott, who has, in a rare Football Manager moment, actually developed into a top player. He's always got big potential. It's always 50-50. In fact, it's about 20% chance you ever see him develop into a top player. He did play for Blackburn before we got there as well. He has turned into a bit of a special player for the club. I don't know what keeps going back to that screen. We've got Juan Camino, who, that's going to trigger something in YouTube. Ask your parents. He looks decent. He's a backup. If I got an offer for him, I wouldn't be against selling him and replacing him to free up some space in the squad. Obviously, Verts can play there. Dissoma, Xiaurego, Lincastro, and Peter Arnett, who I'm also trying to get rid of, are available in that position as well. That's I hate how this screen works. On the wings, things are just disgusting. In fact, all of our attacking midfield is just disgusting. It's essentially the same players in all positions. Xiaurego, Ansu Fati can play there. Szoboszlai, Verts, Takamoto, who looks really, really good actually. Desora Takamoto. Very, very good player. We've been very blessed with good Japanese players so far, and he's the latest in a long line. So we're good. We're glad to have him around as well. Diego Enrique is actually in the. I consider him the backup right back. I don't know why he's there as a midfielder and not as a right back, but there we go. Still a very good player. 24-year-old Brazilian international in that squad, in that position as well. Ben Doak is in there. Giovanni looks very good. He's down there. Elliott can play there. Yorker, I'm going to let go because he doesn't fit registration-wise. Same with McClelland. We're looking pretty tidy in the wing positions. There's nothing particularly special who can't play there. And again, it's largely the same faces plus Carlos Alexandre there. And as a striker, we've got Xiaurego, we've got Szoboszlai, we've got Verts, we've got Fati, we've got Alexandre, we've got Enrique, Bargi, Doak, Giovanni. Victor Osimhen is apparently our 10th best striker, which is ridiculous. And we've got this youngster as well. We'll try and loan out Fabio Bri, who is here, who was joined from Rem previously. It was here when we got here. It looks like he could become a really good player. Just needs a season or two on loan. We'll season him, get him out ready to play. But we're looking really good. This is, you can see why I only signed 4 players. I have no qualms. So in the other new gen we've got here in defence, Alejandro Figueroa is world class at 23, perfectionist personality, filth. That's just filth. We are more than set up to win a Premier League this season. Despite that, if we look at the Premier Division preview, it says that we should finish 4th, which seems odd. But anyway, let's get into that first game. You've seen the team selection already. Let's go play Trent Alexander-Arnold's testimonial. And we will then go and win our first trophy of the season, hopefully, in the MLS Cup. Or sorry, the MLS All-Star Game. So as him aware, this is just a testimonial. We're going to say give Trent the match he deserves. Nothing too complicated. It's just a chance for us to have a little look at the team against reasonable quality opposition before the season starts. We're playing Nice, and they are, of course, a decent side in the French league, usually top 4 as saves progress. So they are a reasonable challenge for us, even if it is a meaningless-ish pre-season game. Just gives us, as I said, a chance to give our players a run out, look at how they're playing together, look at the patterns of play. It's by no means a full-strength team, and 4 of the players aren't ours. But it's just a chance to see how the system works, as Kelleher is going to be the guy taking a goal kick for our first highlight in charge of Liverpool. And obviously, hopefully, we can finish the episode off by winning a trophy here at Anfield, which was only Anfield. It will be in the US. I can't remember where we're playing. I think it's somewhere in New York off the top of my head, as we can see a goal already from Manana. Wish he'd done that, Manana, but he hasn't. So we'll soldier on. We can see an early goal in the friendly. It's Florian Wirtz giving the ball away, and well, you'd have to question the defending a little bit. We know Diomande can be difficult. Takamoto suffered a bruised shin. Poor baby. Yeah, it's pre-season. I'm not going to read a lot into this, but it is just nice for us to see the guys out there. I hope Diomande can actually get used to my systems again, because he did so well for us in the World Cup that it'd be sad if he couldn't. I say he did well for us, actually. I didn't play him half the time because he was always booked. But he was in that squad, and he was a good player in that squad. He's been good for Liverpool. We are struggling. We are really struggling to hold control of the ball, apparently, as Ben Dokes now, having got an amazing dribble, releases Wirtz, who should be able to release Nunez, doesn't, gives it to, or tries to give it to Doak, who will come up with the ball despite that tackle. Can he get the crossover? Does. Looking for Elliott, can't find him. And we are now on the back foot. And this is a concern, because I didn't think I was going to have to play with the two defensive midfielders at Liverpool, and I might have to, and I don't like it, because if we're struggling against Nice, I do have questions. I do have a lot of questions, because it was very much Diomande that made the mistake. So, yeah, questions. Throwing now for Nice, we are very bad. McAllister to Elliott. Elliott is trying to get the ball forward and finds Takamoto, who finds Doak. Doak, little shimmy, gets past his man, into the box, has a shot. Ben Doak, what a goal, son. If we see a few more like that from him over the course of the season, I'll be quite happy. I'm so spoiled for choice with players here that I could rotate almost every game. I could never play the same team twice all season, and we'd still be able to compete. It's crazy. Our second 11 would still finish top 4. It is absolutely insane. I think that's what, if we can win the title, will carry us over the line, is there's so much depth in this squad that we can actually field 2 separate top 4 teams. And sometimes that's just what you need, is that good depth. Oh, we do need that one extra goalkeeper, but that's it. That's the only thing missing from this squad as we get to half-time, where I think we're going to say I'm looking for standards to be set in these friendlies. You're not meeting them so far, just to get them out there. I am also going to make some changes, because some of these players probably shouldn't be on the pitch if they're playing badly. Caicedo can get on for his debut on camera. Ben Dokes picked up a knock, so I guess we can replace him with... That's a question. Is Ansu Fati right-footed? I think he is. He is right-footed. Good. Ansu Fati can go on the left-hand side. Darwin Nunez can be replaced by Victor Osimhen, just to give him some match fitness ahead of the season. Florian Wirtz can come off for Szoboszlai. That's a pretty strong set of changes. Dorgu is looking complacent. We won't have that, so Eidinger can come on. And we're trying to honour your teammate, bud. Let's be nice. In fact, Canate is also on a booking, so that can be a change we make for Figueroa, which would be our usual centre-half partnership for this season. We'll make those changes. We'll send them back out there. Hopefully, a better second half with a more stable team. Get some of our new players into the side as well, just to give them a chance to build relationships with their teammates. As I said, Ansu Fati, I think, will typically play as the striker this season rather than the winger that he usually is, but I don't think it will be to our detriment, as we get a throw in now, and Elliott's picked up the ball from all of that. Takamoto, shot from range. Ferreira makes the save. Obviously, I'll try and get other players on the pitch as well for us to have a look at, but you know, for now, things ticking over, looking good as a big ball goes down the field. Eidinger with his first chance to impress me. Elliott, the left-back spot, of course, is up for grabs this season. As much as I've decided not to make sweeping changes, it's up for grabs between the two guys we're seeing today. As Thiago Santos comes at us, he's looking for a cross. Let's clear this if we can. We haven't. Keller has covered it just. But I'm not liking what Ousmane Diomande is giving me so far, so that's far from ideal. In fact, we're going to take him off, because let's have a look at Del Moro, as Osimhen gets his first chance on the ball in a Liverpool shirt, finds Trent Alexander-Arnold, the man being honoured today. Takamoto, ball inside, looking for Szoboszlai, who has a pop from miles out, quite frankly. and doesn't score. So that's gone well. Good to see a nice-ish crowd as well here for Trent, just to give him that appreciation that you would have got had he stayed at Liverpool in real life. His testimonial he'll never have. Ball goes forward to Eidinger. Eidinger, goes to Fatty. Fatty will have a chance to get a ball over the top, looking for Takamoto. He's going to cut it inside. Ansu Fati with a header. And it was close, but no cigar. No cigar is what happened there. Harvey Elliott's going to come off next. He can be replaced by Camino. Why not? Let's do that. As Caicedo to Eidinger. Eidinger will look for a through ball to Fatty. Fatty should get a crossover, just keeps it in play, cuts it back for Caicedo. New boys combining already. Trent in the middle has a pop, just misses, and well, that's not gone terribly well. Trent's having a really bad game in his own testimonial. That's distressing. You think all days he'd be motivated, this would be the one, but apparently not, as Del Moro puts the ball forward to Camino, to Ansu Fati, who's not got into the game just yet. We'll do an encouraged shout so we know we'll score as Szoboszlai hits the bar with a header. It's looking okay. As I said, we've got a second game where hopefully we'll actually get a trophy today. That'd be nice. Trent's going to have to come off because he's massively underperforming. Feels harsh taking off his own testimonial, but I also do feel like I have to set some standards. And if I don't punish him for a poor performance in his testimonial, am I letting him run rings around me a bit too early, or am I just getting in the spirit of the day? That's the question. Osman, terrible pass, looking for Takamoto. And Bardner to Seto on to Manana, or Manana. He's going to get called back for offside, which is nice. But still question marks over whether Trent should still be on that pitch or not, as we are under the cosh. Maturo finds Babardi, comes off everyone. I'm going to take Kelleher off because I do feel like we should be using our own goalkeeper for the last 20 minutes. Takamoto to Camino. Camino with a chance for a goal. Ansu Fati is through. Can he score? Yes, he can. Ansu Fati gets his first goal at Anfield. On camera, he scored another pre-season friendly, but let's pretend it's his first goal at Anfield. He'll enjoy that and just tells the fans, look, lads, this is what you can expect from Ansu Fati. And by the way, I say lads, not for any reason, so you won't be thinking, but because I've noticed on Football Manager that most of the fans, almost all the fans it generates, are still male in 2025 or 2023, I guess. But yeah, most of the fans it generates in the crowd are still male, and it's very much not the case in real football. So that's odd. Szoboszlai on a run now. Can he make something happen? Takamoto to Caicedo. Caicedo with a chance to create something here. Looking for Trent, who again is out of position. I think that's going to be the last time we see Trent today, if I'm honest, because he has just not showed up today. He can have his flowers. He can hand over to the armband to Szoboszlai, who's the actual club captain, and we can treat these last 15 minutes like they're an actual friendly where we're trying to tune up the team. Magnania's got a free kick. Marcelo has it covered. That's gorgeous stuff. Are we going to hit them on the counter? I suspect not, but in fact I know not because we're taking forever over this. Rolls it out to Del Moro, who goes forward to Caicedo, to Takamoto, who's going to go forward here, looking for Ansu Fati with the switch. Beautiful stuff. Can he impress again? Goes to Camino. Camino with a shot. Ferreira tips it wide. We've got another corner. We're looking not unimpressive, to be honest. And Takamoto is going to come off just because he's the only player I haven't replaced yet. I'm going to replace him with Rooney Bargi. He was on the transfer list when I got here, but I like Rooney Bargi when he's developed, and he looks like he has. So we're going to give him a run out, just so we can say we are making use of him, so we can also protect our young Japanese winger as well, because, that's what this is all about. Szoboszlai into the box, looking for Ansu Fati, almost gets a second off the crossbar. We've got a corner from that. And I thought it was Ryan Sessegnon playing from the guy that refused to play for me for the Ivory Coast and missed out on winning the World Cup. Szoboszlai into the box and not quite the header. Wilhelm with a very Hollywood diving header. I don't know why. Szoboszlai cuts it back and we're having a little bit of a play around with it. Caicedo back to Eidinger to Diego Enrique. Plays it through to Rooney. Rooney through for Szoboszlai, who you'd think would be better in front of goal as technically our best striker, allegedly, according to our assistant manager, but apparently is not. That's a concern that he's shooting like I'm going to chalk it off to it's a friendly and he doesn't care, but it's not ideal. And I should point out, by the way, just for everyone's peace of mind, I'm not one of those psychos that plays all the preseason friendlies. As Giovanni Del Moro scores from a header. I've done it this season because we're a new club and I'm trying to figure out who to keep, who to lose, how we're playing together. And honestly, I never usually do pre-season games as an episode because it's pointless usually. But we have, as I say, got a chance to win a trophy. It's a bit of a special occasion. And it gives you guys a chance to see what I've been seeing, which is that this team, generally speaking, looks very, very good ahead of this season. As we're on the attack again, Ansu Fati cuts it back for Camino. Camino's going to shoot from range here, isn't he? No, he's not. He's gone out for Diego Enrique to Rooney. Rooney with a chance, swings it in, and he's scored an absolutely beautiful curler off the post, at the back post. Incredible stuff from Rooney Bargi, and I don't know why he was transfer listed, because he is going to feature for me this season. He's going to feature for me quite regularly, and what a finish. What a finish. It's absolutely stunning stuff. If he does a few of those this season, we will win trophies. And we will win several trophies. But the game is about to come to an end. It has come to an end. We've won 4-1 in the testimonial. We'll say I'm happy with the performance. It's what I'm looking for. Good stuff. And yeah, we'll be back in just a second in your time for the MLS All-Star Game, where hopefully a trophy. So we're back for our first trophy attempt of the year, and despite our assistant manager's best attempts to get me to play a weakened team, by which I mean this is what he wanted me to pick, we are going full strength for this one. So Marcelo is in goal, Trent is at right back, Diamande and Figueroa in the middle, Dorgu at left back. It's Lavia and Caicedo as the two central midfielders behind Szoboszlai, Wirtz and Rego, and Ansu Fati starts up top. On the bench it's Torkildsen, who is on his way out thankfully, Enrique, Del Moro, Guilherme, Eidinger, Camino, Gravenberch, Bargi, Takamoto, Osimhen, Alexandre, Thayer, Giovanni, Lincastro, and Elliott. So a strong-ish team. I say a strong-ish, it's a very strong, it's a filthy strong team to put up against the MLS All-Stars, who, with all due respect to them, I don't think are prepared for players of this quality. I think very commonly you see a top European side play against the MLS All-Stars, and people who watch the MLS will back me up on this. And they play against the Premier League side or the Serie A side or whatever it may be as reserves rather than the first team. This is very much the first team up against the best the MLS has to offer. We're playing at the Mercedes-Benz Arena, which is in Atlanta, Georgia. Fun fact for the day. And we are ready to go for the MLS All-Star Game. They are, of course, in blue. We are playing in Liverpool's colours because that's what happens. And in fact, they're in Blackburn colours, but with a slightly different blue. We're underway with a highlight immediately. Dorgu to Rego goes all the way back to Figueroa, who is going to take his time to build up. Finds Lavia back to Diamande. Diamande with a chance to get the ball forward to Caicedo. Caicedo will find Dorgu. Dorgu will find Rego back to Dorgu to Figueroa. Figueroa forward for Lavia. Lavia finds Caicedo to Ansu Fati, who has a pop from range. And, well, there was a bit of a weird dive into a tackle there as well that wouldn't help. In fact, it didn't even go wide. It was tipped wide. Beautiful stuff. Szoboszlai with the corner. Even looking for Diamande, can't find him. João Rego is there, though. Can he create something into the box? Back heel to Szoboszlai. It's a cross goal. Wiley blocked it, apparently. It's gone out for another corner. We are a minute and a half into this game, and it's all action already as Szoboszlai now will take the corner again into the box, and Diamande's header tipped wide by Fassi. We go again for another corner. All pressure, all Liverpool, all the time. That's what we like to see. Back into the box. Another header from Diamande. It's gone over the crossbar this time. Ousmane Diomande has decided to be a threat from set pieces for this season, and we love to see it. I know this episode is going to be longer than usual, but hopefully if we can end it with a trophy, it makes everything a little bit better. So, let's hope for the best, see what we can do. It's looking good so far. Another corner, Szoboszlai will take it into the box. He is looking for a head there. I think it was Figueroa who got shoved. We've got a penalty early on in the game, 15 minutes on the clock, and it is going to be Dominik Szoboszlai stepping up, the captain. It's been saved. What on earth was that penalty? Note to self, Szoboszlai not on penalties for the season then. I imagine we'll still come back into the game. Szoboszlai is not going to recover from the 6.2 because they never do after they miss a penalty. It's really weird. He could score a hat-trick now and he still wouldn't get a rating above a 7.5. I've seen this before. Dorgu, ball forward, looking for João Rego. Let's get a goal on the board to make up for that penalty miss. Caicedo, ball over the top for Szoboszlai. Across for Ansu Fati, who scores. Szoboszlai's comeback trail for his match rating. It's been disallowed. That's disappointing, but Szoboszlai at least gets a boost for the assist, even if it was chalked off, which is nice. Gets him back in the game. Szoboszlai with another corner into the box, looking for Diomande for a header off the crossbar. And we're looking strong. We're looking dangerous. We don't quite have that final product yet, which is fine. But we don't quite have the goal that we should have. And I don't mean that disrespectfully to the MLS team, but we are acres above. I mean, Julian Rykov is probably their best player and he wouldn't get in our side. It's a tough one. Another corner, Szoboszlai taking this one into the box. Diomande with a header goes wide this time. Once he learns where the goal is, Diomande is going to be a real threat from corners. You can already kind of feel it. But he's not there yet. And, we are halfway into this game. We haven't scored yet. Dorgu with a throw to João Rego. Back to Dorgu, who gives the ball away. We should get this back, and we do, with Figueroa. Back to Dorgu. First time to João Rego, to Caicedo. Caicedo to João Rego again. He's in. He scored. That's onside. We're a goal up at the end of time added on in the first half, and hopefully this is what we need to get out there in the second half, be a better team. I'm not very happy with Trent right now because, again, he's playing badly. If he doesn't like our system, we'll let him go, we'll replace him, that's not a problem. I will wield the axe if I need to. Ansu Fati also struggling so far, but it's half-time, we are winning. I cannot be too harsh on the guys. We are gonna give Ansu Fati a little pointy finger and I'm not happy with your performance, just to see if we can get her into the game. I can rejig things because all four of our front four can play up top. It's not a big issue. I can put any one of these three up top and move Fati out to a wing, and we don't lose anything by me doing that. But I'd like him to score. And realistically, I can also send in Victor Osimhen to do that same job. So options abound. So I'm just looking at the subs, and I can replace as many players as I want as often as I like, which looks beautiful. So we're going to send Victor Osimhen on up top for now and Trent on at right back. But I can replace the entire team at will, which is nice. I want to get Diego Enrique used to playing as a right back, because he is in my head the backup right back. But the assistant manager seems to think Guilherme should be doing that job. I want him to be proven wrong. I want Diego Enrique to be that backup option / the guy that steps in if Trent keeps doing this, just not turning up for games thing. Figueroa's picked up a knock, so we will protect him by sending on Del Moro while we can. That's a good idea. And I want to be sending Ryan Gravenberch on as a centre-half, which feels odd. Doesn't feel like something I would do. Caicedo, Rego, to Osimhen, out wide to Dorgu. Dorgu with a chance to run at the defence here. He's going to have a go. Finds Lavia. Lavia with a pop from range. That's not far off. It hits the woodwork. 20 minutes to go. We have not dominated this game the way I hoped we would. And that's troubling. I'm going to go more attacking, just to try and encourage us to get the ball forward. But I'm not particularly thrilled with what I'm seeing so far. Eiding is going to get another chance at left back to impress me. In fact, I'm going to do a quick bunch of subs after this highlight because a bunch of players are tired. As Szoboszlai puts a ball forward, just cleared by a defender. Diego Enrique's picked up. He's going to go looking for something, finds Lavia. Lavia will hopefully get a crossover. Goes back to Diego Enrique, who gets tackled. Lavia in for Szoboszlai to Verts to Caicedo to Shalrego for a second goal of the season. And these do count as goals. This isn't a friendly. These do count as competitive goals. We've got 2 goals from Shalrego in this game. We are secure in winning the trophy, barring something crazy happening in these last 10 minutes. I am going to replace the tired legs just because I can replace them all. And hopefully we'll see this out to a trophy lift for the end of the episode. So a free kick with Rooney barging now into the box, looking for Osimhen, doesn't find him. He was stood behind the goalkeeper, to be fair. It was never going to get to him. I do want to take Shalrego off, but I don't want to upset him while he's on a hat-trick because you know how that goes. The morale just nosedives if you do that. As Verts picks up the ball, goes out wide to Gravenberch. Gravenberch finds Erdinger. Erdinger into the box. Erdinger with a shot. Fassi saves it. We're going to get a corner. I don't know. It must be Gravenberch taking it now. I would think it's Shalrego taking them now. Okay, well, he's not going to get a hat-trick from this, but he is also tired, so I guess it makes sense for him to take the corners. Save his legs just a little bit. A few minutes to go. A third goal here guarantees us the first trophy of the 8 we're up for this season. I'm sticking to 8, by the way. I do want to win the Bristol Street Motors Trophy just because I've never won it in FM, and I'd like to, even if it's with our reserves. I'd like to win it. Time is ticking away. We're looking pretty good for a victory for our first trophy of our Liverpool era, and we are just waiting for that clock to tick away to get us a trophy that hopefully we'll see a trophy lift for. Final whistle is here. Trophy lift? Trophy lift. Beautiful stuff. Liverpool win the MLS All-Star Game 2-0 in our first competitive match in charge. And we've got trophies coming thick and fast as well, as I will explain after we see Liverpool lifting a trophy, that our first trophy of the season of 8 to collect. Let's get it in the air. Let's get the streamers, the confetti, the ticker tape, the fireworks. Let's get it done. We are there. First trophy of the year has been achieved for Liverpool. And we're definitely in the big time now. We're definitely in the big time now as Liverpool. I think that's a safe thing to say. We're going to go into the dressing room. We're just going to say, well done, you worked hard, blah, 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 because let's not overthink it. Everyone gets a medal. Everyone gets to look at a nice trophy. We'll bring that back to Anfield. And, well, there might be more transfers after this. There is going to be some... Not everyone got a medal because not everyone played. That's sad. Oh, well. We're coming back not for the first Premier League game we normally do, but we're going to come back for the UEFA Super Cup against Real Madrid, because my God, why would you not play the UEFA Super Cup against Real Madrid? And then our next game after that's going to be for another trophy. Our first 3 episodes of the season of our Liverpool reign could all have trophy lifts. And as I said, we have 8 trophies to play for this season. This could be a little bit crazy. But for now, I am going to wrap up the episode. Thank you for watching, guys. We've got our first Liverpool trophy. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, leave your comments down below. Thank you for watching. Stay safe and have a good one.